Vicente Luque versus Ian Garry. Me personally, I would like to see Ian Garry get humbled. Do I want to see his life get ruined? No. Do I want to see, the downfall of Ian Garry? No. But I do want to see him get humbled. I don't like the way he carried himself against Neil Magny. I didn't think Neil Magny deserved to have his name dragged through the mud for the things he said. Ian Garry made this comment out to be a big, huge thing, and I didn't think that was right. So, with that said, I'd like to see him get humbled. Now, the question is, will he get humbled? Will Ian Garry lose this fight to Vicente Luque? I'm not sure about that. That's what we're going to talk about. So, first and foremost, Ian Garry, I think he lacks punching power. When you watched him against Neil Magny, he had Neil Magny up against the fence and he was throwing these punches and they were kind of slipping off the arms, like they weren't. He was just touching them, kind of a thing. I don't think Ian Garry has true power in his hands the way a Vicente Luque does. So Vicente Luque is going to have the power in his hands advantage, and I think Luque has better hands. I think Luque has better boxing than Ian Garry. Ian Garry is going to have better movement. He's going to have better kicks, and he's probably going to be more accurate in there. But in terms of punching power and fight-ending power in his hands, in his kicks, he's got great kicks. He'll head kick him, knock him out, sure. But in his hands, I don't really see that happening, especially with someone like Vicente Luque, who's been in so many wars and, he keeps coming forward the whole time and all these things. I don't see that happening, but anything could happen. This is mixed martial arts. This is the wildest sport in the world. With that said, I think Luque's problem is going to be corralling Ian Garry up against the fence, meaning he's going to have to cut off the cage. He's going to have to find him, track him, and keep him, I'll say stabilized, probably not the right word to use, but keep him cornered in against the fence, because Ian Garry will find those angles and he will be out of there and he'll be back to picking his shots, and he'll be on his bicycle. And with that said, I'm not sure if Luque will win that one. I think he'll probably lose a decision if that's the case. But it's a fight that I want to see. It's a big fight. It's a test for Ian Garry. I think if Ian Garry was who they say he is and who he says he is, he would have knocked out Neil Magny. He did not do that. He had a dominating performance, yes, but I think he was expected to do so on a short notice. Neil Magny, who is over the hill at this point. Just by example, another person who is actually him, he finished Neil Magny. His name is Shavkat Rakhmonov. A lot of these times, these guys will have performances where they're hyped up, but they're supposed to perform one way and they perform another way. For example, Paddy Pimblett versus Jared Gordon. If Paddy Pimblett was who they say he is and who Paddy claims to be, he should have beaten Jared Gordon within 2 rounds, okay? But that didn't happen. He lost that fight, but he won a decision because, it is what it is. MMA judge gonna MMA judge. And, yeah, man, that's the way I'm looking at this fight. Also, Ian Garry right now is on a surge. And if you've noticed, most times when fighters win titles, they go on these surges where it's just win after win after win and everything is clicking for them. Luque, not so much. Luque has had win, a loss, win, another loss. He hasn't had that surge yet. And Luque, at this point, Luque is a bit of a veteran in the sport. I remember 5 years ago when people were talking about how he's up next and how he's going to, challenge Tyron Woodley for a title, challenge Kamaru Usman early in his run for a title. That was the talk on Vicente Luque, and he went from being that notable prospecty kind of guy to now he's a veteran. Like time don't stop for nobody. So I don't think Vicente Luque is on that surge anymore, but I think Ian Garry is. The question is, can Ian Garry stay on his bicycle for long enough and not get caught by a Vicente Luque? Can he basically walk that tightrope for 3 rounds? I think he can. I'm honestly leaning Ian Garry, but I do want to see him get humble because I don't like that attitude he has. I think he comes off more as Ronda Rousey than he does Conor McGregor. And in his head, he's thinking he's Conor, and he's not. He's coming off like Ronda, and it's cringe. So it is what it is. That's my take on this. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you disagree with me, if you agree with me, it does not matter. Just join the discussion, and please follow for more. Thank you.